Alright, let's dive into something that's been making waves recently. The US pledging $1 billion in support to Colombia, right as Trump-backed President Abelardo de la Espriella takes office. But here's the thing. This isn't just about money or politics. It's about a dramatic shift in Colombia's trajectory and what it means for the region and, frankly, the world. So let's break it down. First off, what immediately stands out is the timing. De la Espriella's inauguration marks a hard right turn for Colombia, especially after the left-wing leadership of Gustavo Petro. Personally, I think this is more than just a political transition, it's a statement. By taking the oath in Cali, a city notorious for its volatility, de la Espriella is sending a clear message. He's not here to play nice. Cali isn't just any city. It's a hotspot for armed groups and drug trafficking. By choosing this location, he's essentially saying, I'm bringing the fight to your doorstep. It's bold, it's symbolic, and it's a move that's going to polarize people even further. Now let's talk about the US involvement. $1 billion isn't pocket change. The US State Department calls it a security package. But what does that really mean? In my opinion, this is about more than just fighting crime or illegal immigration. It's about influence. The US is backing a leader who's promised an all-out war on narco-terrorism, and who's openly aligned himself with Trump's vision. This raises a deeper question. Is this about shared goals? Or is it about the US securing a strategic ally in a region that's historically been a geopolitical chessboard? What many people don't realize is that Colombia's shift to the right could reshape alliances across Latin America. It's not just about Colombia anymore. It's about the balance of power in the hemisphere. De la Espriella's background is another layer to this story. He's not a career politician. He's a lawyer who's represented drug trafficking paramilitaries, footballers, and fraudsters. One thing that immediately stands out is how this experience might shape his approach. Critics are worried his confrontational style could deepen divisions in an already polarized country. But here's where it gets interesting. De la Espriella isn't just cracking down on crime. He's vowing to build megaprisons and strengthen military ties with the US and Israel. From my perspective, this isn't just about law and order. It's about rebranding Colombia as a tough, no-nonsense state. The question is, will this approach actually work? Or will it just create more problems down the line? What makes this really interesting is the contrast with Petro's leadership. Petro was all about peace talks and diplomacy. De la Espriella is about force and confrontation. Personally, I think this is a reflection of a broader global trend, the rise of strongman politics. Leaders who promise quick, decisive action are gaining traction, even if their methods are controversial. But here's the kicker. Colombia is a deeply divided country. De la Espriella's approach might appeal to some, but it could alienate others. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about Colombia's future. It's about the kind of leadership the world is embracing right now. Finally, let's talk about the US-Colombia relationship. The State Department is framing this as a new era. But what does that really mean? In my opinion, this is about more than just security or trade. It's about the US positioning itself in a region where China and Russia are also vying for influence. A detail I find fascinating is how de la Espriella's pro-growth agenda aligns perfectly with US interests. What this really suggests is that the US sees Colombia as a key player in its broader strategy for Latin America. But here's the thing. With great power comes great responsibility. If de la Espriella's tough approach backfires, the US could find itself tied to a leader who's created more instability than stability. So where does this leave us? Personally, I think this is a story that's just beginning. Colombia is at a crossroads, and the choices de la Espriella makes, backed by $1 billion from the US, will have ripple effects far beyond its borders. What this really suggests is that we're not just watching a political transition, we're witnessing the reshaping of a region. And as we watch this unfold, I can't help but wonder, is this the kind of leadership Colombia needs? Or is it a gamble that could cost them dearly? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.